Hey everybody, welcome to Wine Time with Nectar of the Dog's Wine. It's our holiday special. I'm Melanie. Cheers. And I'm joined here with Braunee, aka Santa Paws. Say hi, Braun. You know, I've read somewhere that dogs really hate it when you dress them up for the holidays, but I don't know. I think he looks totally adorable. Don't you think? Well, let's just, I woke him up from a nap as usual. So say Merry Christmas, Braun. Santa Paws. So we have a special episode this week. It's Christmas time, right? It's crazy, busy, hectic. We had some Heart and Paw partners that were scheduled to be here, but they had some scheduling conflicts. They're out rescuing dogs. And Monica couldn't be here either. So it's just me. You got me for the next hour. So I thought it's a time for, I don't know, reflection, right? Time to be thankful. You know, it's really weird. I got this... I got a picture pop up last week, right, December 11th, and it was a picture of me and Todd and reminding us that it's been 5 years since we started this company. Where does the time go? So I just thought, well, I'd still like to do the special this week. So here we are. And hopefully Braunee doesn't fall off. But I just wanted to start to say I'm dedicating this week's episode to the Rainbow Bridge, our Rainbow Bridge dogs. They're right here. Wanted to just show here a little bit. These were their Christmas photos. Can you see that there? Yeah. So Connie, Clyde, Floyd, and Mika were the original. And then, of course, we have Braunee and Vinny. This was last year. You know, what a difference a year makes, right? You just always think that everything, your dogs, people in your life, it's always gonna be there. And then one day you wake up and maybe they're not. This year's been a tough year, right? For a lot of people, obviously COVID, a lot of people out of work. Just really tough. I personally had some stuff happen as well. My mom was sick. Thankfully, she's doing much better. And then if you've seen this, we've talked about it before. We lost Vinny back at the end of October. So it's been really tough. But, you know, through all that, I try to stay positive and just remain really thankful, right? I still have a lot of things to be thankful for in life. I have a wonderful husband. I have Braunee. I have my health. I have family. I have friends. And it kind of just also reinstilled in me the reason why we started this company, as I've mentioned in previous episodes. But if it's the first time you're tuning in or listening in, this company was started to honor the memory of our Rainbow Bridge dogs. I just showed you the pictures, right? But we can look here at the slide here. Just again, this is Connie and Clyde and Floyd and Mika, and our newest addition to the Rainbow Bridge, Vinny. And, you know, I just had to kind of regroup and remember why it is we do what we do, right? We are a wine company that creates easy drinking, limited edition varietals, and we give 10% of our sales to various dog rescue organizations. We're dedicated to supporting dog rescue. And over the past 5 years, we've donated a lot. I'm honestly, almost $10,000 to various dog rescue organizations. When we first started, we did very large donations to the SPCA LA, All American Dachshund Rescue, Bark Party, just to name a few. And as we've gone through the journey of Nectar of the Dog's wine, which I'm going to get into in the next segment, we've kind of strategically really thought a little bit more and thought we'd really like to partner with some organizations who are going to kind of help share our word and our message, right? Because the more wine we sell, the more we are able to give back. So we created this year a Heart and Paw partner program. And here we're going to just show you some of our current Heart and Paw partners. SPCA LA, as I mentioned, Chiquita's Friends is a new one. Love at First Mutt, Good Sense Dogs, Deity Animal Rescue, just to name a few. And so they help us by sharing our message and, our wine on their social media channels. They've been guests here on Wine Time as well. And then hopefully when we get back to doing events, hopefully in 2021, we'll see, we'll do other strategic partnerships, and they receive a year-end donation at the end of the year as long as they're a Heart and Paw partner program, as long as they're a Heart and Paw partner in the program. And, again, it's just a way for us to kind of work together. We share their message, they share our message, and that's really what this company is all about. I mean, there are a lot of wine companies out there. We're not we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just doing something for a good cause. This year, as I mentioned, has been kind of a struggle. This is my wine company, but I also work a full-time corporate job. I'm a show and event producer. I produce big, large events, and that hasn't happened this year because obviously of COVID. So this wine company has really kept me inspired. It's kept me grounded. It's kept me just bringing joy to my life, it's kind of hard, right? For everyone. But I just want to, reiterate again, it's Christmas. It's a time to just reflect. It's a time to think back, to try to be joyful, even in this crazy world that we live in. And I said last week, crazy isn't even the word anymore. I think it's gone beyond crazy. But yeah, just as we move into 2021, hopefully with this vaccine that's going to work, we're able just to look back at 2020. And basically, we just lived through a pandemic, right? History. Not many people can say that they've done that. But I just want to take a moment just to say cheers, that we should be thankful for our dogs, people in our lives, thankful for wine. And I really want to just, in this next segment, talk a little bit more about the journey of Nectar of the Dogs wine. Hopefully you will stick with me and not get bored listening to me. But that's what this episode is going to be this week. So go grab your dog, go grab a glass of wine if you're not drinking one yet, and sit back and let me tell you the story of Nectar of the Dogs wine. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
welcome back to Wine Time, presented by Nectar of the Dogs Wine. You can explore our entire selection of wines on our website, nectarofthedogswine.com. And remember that 10% of our wine sales go back to our various Heart and Paw partners. So remember, when you're drinking with us, you're drinking for a great cause. So cheers. Here's my new Holly Jolly Hour glass. I thought it was very festive. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the wine that I'm drinking today. I was going to bring some champagne in today because, it's holiday, it's celebration, but I realized that I drank the last of my champagne a few days ago. So I thought, what other wine do I have in my collection that is very special to me? And it is the original, the OG Chardonnay, our 2014. This is where it all started. It's a Chardonnay from Lodi, and I'm really excited to say that I just opened it up, and it is still delightfully delicious. Now, we don't have a tasting room yet, right? So we're working on that this year. COVID kind of that didn't happen. Don't need to get into that again. But events are an integral part of what we do, right? We sell our wine direct to consumer through our website and, of course, at events. I know that sometimes it can be challenging if you're not a wine person, just to buy wine and you don't really know what it tastes like or you don't know much about it. So events were really, really important. And when we had events, people would always ask me, how did you get into the wine business? As I just mentioned in the previous segment, I still hold a full-time corporate job. I'm an event producer, but this is my passion. And so we kind of started this back in 2015, just really as I honestly wanted to just get a palette of Chardonnay for myself. That's really how it started. But I knew the flavor profile that I was looking for. I had a friend who was interested in doing this with me. So we bottled the first Chardonnay. We bottled a pallet of it, 56 cases. And we were working with another friend of ours who had just kind of started in the wine business as well. So, we've learned a lot over the last 5 years. I'm going to show this picture here. This is the Chardonnay that I tasted right out of the tank in Lodi. As I mentioned, I knew the flavor profile that I was looking for, very crisp and full-bodied. And I was lucky and fortunate to kind of find it right off the bat there. So that is the original Chardonnay. And then that's Todd and I. That's actually when we bottled the second edition of the Chardonnay, which is a 2017, also from Lodi. So I mentioned, we kind of started this. We were working with another wine company, didn't really know how far it was going to go, but the Chardonnay was so well received that we just decided to kind of carry this forward. So I incorporated the company, and Nectar of the Dogs Wine LLC was born. We always knew that we wanted to produce easy drinking, limited edition varietals. So we work with boutique wineries in the Central Coast and the Central Valley of California. Our wines come from Santa Barbara County, Lodi, and Paso Robles. And we just bottled our 11th varietal, our 2019 Three Dogs White. So we're really, really excited. I had intended to bottle a couple of new varietals this year, but that didn't happen. So I'm looking to 2021 to bottle some new selections. But people always ask me as well, it seems like such a fun business, right? And it is a fun business. I would say that the most fun that I have is, obviously sampling the wines that we find. And I bring in my wine club partners, or wine club friends, members, I should say, and we taste and we bottle what we like. So that's really fun, right? Also meeting people. It's kind of, this industry is interesting. I do a lot of wine tasting, obviously. I meet a lot of really cool people, and most people that I meet are very supportive. As I mentioned, there's wine all over the world, so much, right? And every wine has a story. And we're going to share our story in a minute. But I would say that, sampling the wine and meeting the wonderful people, that's the best part. I'm a people person. I love that. So I love that about this business. People also ask, what's the hardest part? Well, the hardest part is just kind of keeping track of everything. It's a lot of work. And selling the wine, right? It's hard to sell it when you don't have a tasting room. So that's where the importance of events. And when you don't have events, that's kind of tough. So I would say that's probably the hardest. The best part is writing the checks to the dog rescue organizations. That is just the most fulfilling part of this business, and it just keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. It drives me because I know that I am, at the end of the day, making a difference in these animals' lives. Now, I mentioned, events are really integral, right? So let's take a look at some of these. What I've learned over the last 5 years, some events are better than others, right? You live and you learn and you make mistakes, and you maybe do events that kind of don't make sense and kind of do. So these events that you're looking at here, that one in the middle, that's when we partnered with the SPCA LA for the first time when we released our Rosé Malbec, and we gave them $1,000. And, that's how the partnership started with them. And it's been wonderful. And to write that check was amazing. I also did some private events. That one on the right there was a private party for a friend of mine, DJ Ashba, when he opened up his store in Vegas. Now, I have to say there probably weren't a lot of wine drinkers at that event, but nonetheless, it was a good way to kind of get out and get some exposure. And then on the left, that was a fun one. We actually did a Mother's Day event where we had people come, and if they bought a bottle of wine, they could take a picture with their dogs. So that was me and Todd and Braunee and Vinny with our professional photographer friend, Michael Poole. And, who doesn't like to have a professional picture with their dogs? So events are they're awesome. They're great. We hope to have them back in 2021. Now, this year, I had Monica come on, and she was helping with our PR and just, finding really cool opportunities and cool new events, the right events for us, right? We were excited to have those this year. Hopefully they'll be back in 2021. But she also was able to get our wine out to the tasting panel and to wine enthusiasts. So we had our wines reviewed for the first time. As I mentioned, it's kind of hard sometimes if people have never had your wine and they just don't really want to buy it because they've never tasted it. So these reviews have been really, really helpful by these well-respected magazines. So here we're just going to look at wine enthusiast and tasting panel. We got a 90 for our CCF McMurphy and a 92 for our Three Dogs White, and an 87 and an 86. We haven't had the new 2019 Three Dogs White reviewed yet, but we hope to have that soon. Now, for the wine enthusiast review, which was a great review, we had the opportunity to also share a video, produce and share a video with them. So I happen to know a couple of really awesome editors, Pawsome editors, I'll say, PAW. And they helped me create this video, right? So there's a funny story. I'm going to show you this video in just a second. But we took some footage from past events, obviously talking about the wine. And then when we were out on a trip in Paso, we were shooting some footage out in the vineyards, which you'll see. And there's a funny story that I'll tell you in just a second. But let's take a look at that video, Todd. Every wine has a story. Where it's from, how it's grown. From vineyard to bottle, each one is unique. Just like every rescue dog has a story. Where they came from, how they were rescued, and hopefully, how they found their forever loving home. Let me tell you our story. Nectar of the Dogs Wine was established in 2015 by two friends with an entrepreneurial spirit, a deep connection to their dogs, and a love for wine. To honor the memory of our Rainbow Bridge dogs, they are featured on the label. And to always sip for a cause, our core mission was founded on giving back a portion of all wine sales to organizations dedicated to helping dogs in need. Today, we continue our mission to produce limited edition, easy drinking varietals by partnering with boutique wineries in the Central Coast and Central Valley of California. Our goal is to find the best wines to bring to you, because the more wine we sell, the more we are able to benefit dog rescues. Our CCF McMurphy is a blend of 80% Cabernet, 20% Cabernet Franc from the esteemed Templeton Gap and Estrella districts of Paso Robles. The wine was aged in 100% New French oak from 18 to 27 months. Deep red in color, with lush aromas of berry and smoke, this wine has a smooth mouthfeel and a beautiful lingering finish. Dried berry, black olive, and charred beef aromas show on the nose of this Cabernet Sauvignon-based blend. Deep black plum and black currant flavors come together with smoked meat and black pepper on the palate, framed by tense acidity and dense tannins. Dogs and wine bring so much joy and happiness to our lives. It will always be our mission to honor our fur angels by giving back to dogs in need while enjoying great wine with our family and friends. When you purchase and enjoy our wine, you know you are sipping for a great cause. And remember, it's not really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Cheers, and may dogs continue to bless your life. Wasn't that video just possum? It's my new favorite word, possum. It sounds like possum, but it's really like P-A-W-S-O-M-E, right? Okay. So here's the funny story about that. We were kind of driving along looking for the vineyard shots, and we have an RV, right? So we pulled up to the vineyard where we were going to be, and I opened the door, and there, right outside of the step, was a snake. Okay, I hate snakes. Spiders I'm fine with. I just hate snakes. So Todd was setting up the shot. He heard the blood-curdling scream of me, seeing the snake. And so I was a little bit flustered when I was having to deliver my lines. Hopefully that didn't come out in the video. I don't know. My friends tell me it didn't. I kind of think I did. But that was the funny snake story of the Wine Enthusiast video. Come to find out, the snake was dead. It wasn't like it was moving, but still, nonetheless. And then it kind of made me thought, wow, it's just farming, right? People are out in the vineyards and there's snakes. So I don't like to think about that when I'm thinking about drinking my wine, but nonetheless, they're out there. So we're going to continue on in the next segment, a little bit more about the events that we have done and have coming up. I hope that you're enjoying this special holiday edition of Wine Time. And go get a refill. I'll be right back. Cheers.
Allison is perfect. She'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go! Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you? What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No! Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at fenixmedia.us.
Welcome back to Wine Time, presented by Nectar of the Dogs Wine. This show is a production of Mendelmack Studios and Fenix Media. You can download the podcast, tune in live each Thursday at 5 p.m. To explore more about the show, head over to fenixmedia.us/wine time. I'm enjoying my wine here. You know, we here at Nectar of the Dogs say you're never really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Here's Braunee. Here's my wine. So I don't feel so bad. Now, I was just mentioning, there he is. He changed into his pajamas. He's waiting for Santa Paws. Oh, wait, he is Santa Paws. No, he's waiting for Santa Paws. But, you know, he probably hates that I dress him up in all of these clothes, but it's okay. I still think he looks cute and doesn't matter. Here's the thing, though. You know, I obviously had clothes for Braunee and Vinny, so he's got double everything. Or maybe Santa might bring a new dog for Christmas. I don't know. We'll talk about that in the next segment, perhaps. Now, I was just mentioning that we don't have a tasting room, right? So that's kind of difficult sometimes. People may not like to try or buy wine that they don't try, right? So events were really integral for us. And, you know, we don't have to get into it again. All of our events were canceled this year. But I wanted to just highlight a couple of the events that we did in 2019. So I've learned over the last few years, some events are better suited for wine than others. Back in the beginning of 2019, we did some gifting suites. And we met some really cool people. Here we have, and you know, dog influencers, right? Who knew that those even existed? But we have Sushi, the dog, with her blue ears, or is that a boy or girl? I don't remember. That was Sushi's owner there. And then we had Jojo there on the right. You know, these are dog influencers, right? Again, who knew? But I guess you can have an influencer for just about anything. So we met some really cool people. But, you know, we're kind of giving away a lot of wine, trying to get the word out there, and really thankful that we had the opportunity to do these events. But I don't know. It's a lot of social media around it, and you got to take advantage of that stuff. So it's probably not an event that I would do again, but happy to have had the experience to do so. Now, Guide Dogs of America is one of our partners, and it's not a traditional dog rescue, right? But they do have a wonderful program, and so it was kind of our way just to give back. Back when we released a very limited edition Cab Franc, we featured one of my partner's dogs, Murphy, and he was blind. So we wanted to come partner with an organization that had something to do with blindness. So that's where Guide Dogs of America came in. So why don't we take a look at this video, and you can see just kind of the difference of events. That was such a fun event. They had a casino night, and they gave us their whole pavilion to set up, and just we met some really cool people. I think we actually kind of got a few wine club members there too. So that was just one type of an event for exposure. And then later on that year, we did a release party. So this is where we actually charged people to come in. We had we partnered with a place called the St. Felix in Hollywood. And yeah, when we release a varietal, we try to partner with an organization. In this case, here we were again with SPCA LA and Pet Orphans of Southern California. So we were able to present them with a check there. And then we also raffled off baskets. And so that also went to them. It was a really super fun event. On the right, there's Monica and my friend Jessica. And then there's Todd and I in the center. We look pretty tan because if I remember correctly, we had just gotten back from Hawaii. And I think I had just done my hair blonde as well. So you might see, some of the other pictures, it's a different color, but whatever, it's just hair color. So why don't we take a look at that event, another fun one at the St. Felix. So as I mentioned, that was a wine release event, and that one was open to the public. We actually sold tickets, and we hope to be able to do more events like that. A lot of fun. It's really just about getting out there, having people taste the wine, buy the wine, join the wine club. That's really what all these events are about. Now, that was the end of 2019. And then, of course, we got into 2020. And weren't we all excited? It was the start of a new decade. And we just went into 2020 roaring. Monica was just really great at securing some really, really cool events that we were scheduled to do this year. But one of the ones that we did in the beginning was an event, it was a dog adoption event. Now, at the beginning of the year, we also got some distribution at Cornell Winery, which is up in Agora. So we were super excited. We partnered with a lady named Geraldine Gilliland and her organization, Chiquita's Friends. And so she rescues dogs from Tijuana. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. So I met her through the owner of Cornell Winery, Tim, and we were there adopting dogs out. So not only I actually had a broken foot, broken ankle, right? So I had to ride around on a scooter. I think there's a picture of that somewhere. Maybe you can see it in this video that we're about to look at, or maybe Bob, you edited it out. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully you did. But so we had this event, we sold some wine, and not only that, but Monica ended up adopting her dog, McAdoo, and then our other friends, Keith and Christina, got Isla. Isla's been on some previous episodes of Wine Time. So, it was just a great cause, and it was a fun time. So why don't we take a look at that particular event up at Cornell Winery with Chiquita's Friends. That was such a fun event, and you probably did see those dogs. That was Isla, and that was McAdoo. If you've never been up to Cornell Winery, that's a really, really unique place up in, it's off Mulholland up in Agora. But Tim, he owns that, and he sources wines from boutique wineries such as ours. And so you could go out there, unfortunately, it's been tough for them, right? A lot of wineries are closed due to COVID. We have a lot of friends, obviously, in the wine industry, and they're struggling. So, we're a little bit fortunate. I want to say that we were really upset that we couldn't get into our tasting room. That was our plan for this year. But again, it's being thankful and kind of just rolling with what you have, right? So we don't have a tasting room, but we also didn't have to close a tasting room, which is another struggle for some of these people that we know, our friends and family. So I do encourage you not only to try and buy our wine, but, support small business. Our friends out there at Cornell Winery, we have Mike and Chris over at Cantara. They're up in Camarillo. Our other friends, Mike and Deb, Sunland Vintage in Thousand Oaks. Just go out and support. I know the wineries are closed, but you can still buy bottles. Everybody's really just trying to get through this tough time, us included. So we all appreciate the support, and you're drinking. You're going to drink anyway, but drink with us for a great cause. So I want to talk a little bit in the next segment about what we have coming up in 2021. Hopefully you're still here. Stick around. Hopefully you're maybe on your third or the bottle. But I'm enjoying my 2014 Chardonnay from Nectar of the Dogs Wine. I think I might change glasses because I did bring another one. So stick around. Go refill. Talk to you in a sec.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Don't you think that Braunee kind of looks like that dog in The Grinch? That poor little dog that, what was his name, Bob? Sam? Max. The poor little dog who had to pull that huge sled. You know, I don't know about you guys, but Grinch scared me. I was not fond of the Grinch when I was little. I was more of the, Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph, those little movable characters. I was not a Grinch fan, but I think that Braunee looks like that. Don't you? Isn't he cute? Dog and wine. I think only maybe animal lovers, dog owners can appreciate this. I mean, I think all dogs are beautiful. Although last week, I think we did find some ugly ones. I think weren't we talking about that? But some dogs just only a mother could love, and you guys might think differently, but I love little Braunee, and he's having a tough time missing Vinny. This poor little dog. We put a dog camera in our house, right? And so when I leave, I see him go from the kitchen down the stairs to the front door, sniff around, look for me, and then he goes back up the stairs and he howls. And I am not kidding. He literally howls and howls and howls. And I didn't believe Todd when Todd said he howls when you're gone. Even when Todd is at home, he howls. And so I'm confused. I'm conflicted because I feel like we should bring another dog into our life. But then I'm like, well, he's going to be 14 and I don't want him to feel like you guys are abandoning me for like a younger one. I don't know. So we talk about fostering, although I know if we foster, it's going to be a failed foster. But having 5 dogs at one time, I learned some stuff about alphaness, and this one actually used to attack our older wiener dog. So, I don't know. I really want to be careful. I want it to not, I don't want to stress Braunee out. I thought he just yawned. But I don't want him to howl every time I go. It's just it's a weird thing, separation anxiety. But he's like, why can't I just go back to my nap here? So let's just put him back down. Right, Braun? Right? Look in the camera there and say Merry Christmas. So Todd was asking me for my Christmas list this morning, although I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I said a new dog for Braunee. I put it on there twice. I don't know. Maybe Santa brings that. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see. But let's talk a little bit about our wines in depth. I know that in the first segment, I mentioned some of the reviews that we had, but I want to just go talk a little bit about our current portfolio because that actually is on special right now for the holidays. If you go to the website and you enter Heart and Paw 20, spell it out, HEARTAND Paw, PAWN 20. Our current portfolio of wines is 20% off. And so let's not let Braunee fall there. I just want to talk a little bit about them. Again, you can go to the website in more detail. But right now we have our CCF McMurphy, which is our Cab Franc blend. It's 80% Cab, 20% Cab Franc from the esteemed Estrella and Templeton Gap districts in Paso Robles. Or Robles, if you're Bob, who grew up there. He's shaking his head at me now. And that was the one that scored 90 in the Wine Enthusiast. So really, really excited. That was the first blend that we did. Making blends is fun. Most of the wines that we do are single varietal. As I mentioned, we taste and we bottle things that we like. But we blended that one, and it's been a huge success for us. So that's a great one to try. So then the next wine that we have is our 2017 Three Dogs White, and this is another blend. This is the second blend that we did, a white blend. It's predominantly Viognier. It's 80% Viognier, 18% Gewürztraminer, and 2% Late Harvest Muscat Canale. Although it is not a sweet wine, I don't like sweet wines, so we don't bottle sweet wines. That one scored a 92 in the tasting panel, and that one was the one we had on special in honor of Vinny. Beautiful wine. Actually, we're almost sold out of that one. So if you like that, you should order some. If you haven't tried it, you should, because it's beautiful, very light and crisp. It's a wonderful summertime wine, although I love white wine anytime. Our Rosé of Pinot Noir scored 87 in the Wine Enthusiast. And it's another beautiful wine, too. Our first rosé that we did was a Rosé Pinot Grigio. Then we did our Rosé Malbec, which we're almost sold out of. And so we found this Rosé Pinot Noir very dry, light and crisp, like a French style rosé. Just beautiful. Another one that I highly recommend. Then we have our 2017 Chardonnay. This was, as I mentioned, our second bottling. That is also from Lodi. And that's another one of my favorites. People ask me all the time, like, what's your favorite wine? And I have to say, I mean, I am a white wine drinker, but I kind of run the gamut of, our wines, and I drink a lot of other wines as well. But I really do love our Chardonnay. It's very crisp. It's unoaked, because that is the kind of Chardonnay that I like. And then we just bottled, this past September, right? Our 2019 Three Dogs White. So that again is a blend, Viognier, Gewürztraminer, Muscat Canali. Now the difference between the 2017 and the 2019, the 2017 has about a 13.8% ABV. And the 2019 has about a 14.1. So just a skosh more alcohol. But, I have some bundle packs on the website, so you can try it for yourself. I mean, wine is subjective, right? So I might like something, you might like something completely different, but there's nothing wrong with that. And that's really the fun of wine tasting. If you've never been wine tasting, I highly recommend it. But you can check out those specials. And I also wanted to just say, I mentioned that we had a special on the current portfolio, which is actually all 6 wines. So the Rosé and Malbec is included. You enter Heart and Paw 20 at checkout. And I was wrong a second ago. So it's Heart and the ampersand sign, Paw 20. So check that out. I think I'll run that special probably till the end of the year. And that way you can try all of the current varietals and pick your favorite. So as I mentioned, I just want to call out again our Heart and Paw partners, because, the more wine that we sell, the more we're able to give back to them. I just want to show this slide here again. These are some wonderful organizations that are doing great work. Not only in dog rescue, but like Rough Riders, for instance, there. Christian actually takes, he transports the dogs, right? He doesn't rescue them per se, but he takes them from the shelters, and then he works with other organizations to help foster and get them adopted. So hopefully, we are going to plan to be talking to the Animal Rescue Mission and Levitt for Smut after the first part of the year. And then, some of our other organizations for as long as we can keep Wine Time going. I know that 2021 is going to bring about a lot of changes. A lot of positive changes, we hope and pray, right? We have the vaccine coming out. Hopefully we get back to events. I think as far as events are concerned, we do have some tentatively on the calendar. We plan to be at the LA Wine Fest in Long Beach, and then we're going to try to get back to the Ventura Wine Walk, obviously in Ventura. We're scheduled to be at the La Jolla Art and Wine Fest. Again, these are all tentative, just depending on what happens with the world. And so we'll see. I want to let people know also that we have a wine club. And, if you enjoy our wine, a wine club is just a simple way to make sure that you always are in stock. I know a lot of people can maybe kind of be intimidated by a wine club, like I can't commit. Ours is pretty simple. You can either do 2 bottles, 4 bottles, or 6 bottles every quarter. It's February, May, August, and November. And, you're always sipping for a great cause when you're drinking with us. So it's just a way to support. If you're interested, you can check out the website, nectarofthedogswine.com. Or if you have questions, you can email me or Monica. We're happy to have you join our exclusive little wine club. I mentioned our wines are available on our website, nectarofthedogswine.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, just to kind of see what we have going on. We try to keep that as current as possible and showing some really fun pictures of dogs and wine, because, that's what we're all about. Hashtag Sip for a Cause. Hashtag Does Your Dog Wine? Hashtag Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And these Wine Time episodes you can find at fenixmedia.us. /wine time, also on our Facebook page, Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And we have a YouTube channel. So they're all up there. Also, some of those fun sizzle videos that we just showed you, we'd really encourage you to kind of go check them out and just help us spread the word, right? We the more wine we can sell, the more we're able to give back. And that's really what it's all about, right? This is a season of giving. But Christmas time shouldn't be the only season of giving, right? If you also want to join us on Wine Time, email me or Monica at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, and we can see if we can squeeze you in our busy schedule. Like I mentioned, this is the season of giving, but it shouldn't stop here at Christmas. It should continue on into the new year and every day, right? Just be kind, be good, drink lots of wine, snuggle with your pups, adopt, don't shop, foster, do what you can. This year has just been, I don't have to say it, it's been awful. It's just been 100% awful. But we're here, we're able to drink wine, we're able to be with our dogs, able to be with the ones that we love. So on behalf of Nectar of the Dogs Wine, we just want to say happy holidays. There's me and Braunee, right? He didn't have his hat on that day, but we just wanted to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever holiday you celebrate. I am a Christian. I celebrate Christmas, so I will say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is. Be good to each other. Love one another. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and cheers. May dogs continue to bless your life. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you next time.